Greetings, one and all. This is Lloyd Brown giving full endorsement to
Starting promotion right now, radio.
The station with integrity, the station with a difference. Remember me tell you, Lloyd Brown says so. Full endorsement.
Starting promotion right now, radio.
We not stop till we drop. Zane, bless.
Why not tune in to the SPRB Radio Podcast Zoom Experience with 10-Star General and Sharon Mango.
This is Jojo Mack, and I always tune into the SBRB radio podcast with 10-Star General and Sharon Mango. If you love a good conversation, you should too. Check it out.
I'm Janiceness, and I always tune in to the SPRB radio podcast with General Culture and Sister Sharon Mango. Yo, you don't have to take my word for it. Just tune in and catch the vibration. Yeah, this one is knockings.
Paulette Williams from Out of Many Smile Jamaica Charity, endorsing 10-Star General and Sharon Mango from SPRB Radio Podcast. Check them out. You will not be disappointed. Article Love.
This is The Buzz, your music news update for the latest on your favorite artists and more. Sponsored by JojoMacMusic.com.
Hello everyone, I am Pistol and this is The Buzz. Popular dancehall entertainer Agent Sasko was among 35 recipients of the Order of Distinction, OD, in the rank of officer at the 2022 National Honors and Awards held on the lawns of King's House in Kingston, Jamaica. He received the honor for outstanding contribution to music, philanthropy, and for providing positive pro-social messaging for Jamaican youth. He said, quote, "I'm honored by it, and at the same time, this is motivation for me to continue along the path I have continued to chart. It also serves again for me to be more deliberate in how I spend my time and where I put my energies," end quote. International superstar Stefflon Don has signed a new global recording partnership with BMG to release her debut studio album, Island 54, which is set for release in 2023. The MOBO award-winning artist released her much-anticipated collaboration single, Clockwork, with dancehall superstar Spice, produced by Grammy award-winning Beam, from the upcoming full-length album. The accompanying video amassed nearly 5 million views on YouTube in its first few weeks. Island 54 follows Stefflon Don's previous mixtape releases, Real Ting and Secure. The British rapper-songwriter, whose parents were born in Jamaica, said she's very excited about the partnership with BMG because, quote-unquote, they trust my creativity. She said they have an amazing support team across the globe, and I am super excited to expand my fan base alongside my new family, BMG. Tim Reed, BMG's senior vice president in charge of repertoire and marketing, said Stefflon Don is a unique artist who has already accomplished so much on a global scale, collaborating with some of the biggest names in music while gaining equal acclaim on her solo projects. Similarly, Thomas Scherer, BMG's vice president in charge of repertoire and marketing, Los Angeles and New York, said Stefflon Don is an artist who knows exactly what she wants to achieve, and we are happy to be part of her journey towards this. Cara Vickers, music consultant and one of the managers of dancehall artist Skeng, is describing as positive a recent meeting with Guyana's president, Mohamed Irfan Ali, to discuss the artist being banned from performing in the country and the way forward. Coming out of the meeting, Vickers said Ali agreed that while he aims to maintain order in his country, Skeng should not have to absorb the blame for the actions of the citizens. She said, quote, "He understood my plight and I understood his. He apologized for the actions of the people, but he agrees that he has a country to manage and he can't afford to have certain things play out. It's a Caribbean territory like Jamaica, and he has a duty of care. He's not necessarily overriding the decision, but he understands why it would need to be lifted," end quote. In May, gunshots rang out during the DJ's performance at the Baderation Dancehall concert, cutting his set short. According to Vickers, they're working together in hopes of reaching a desirable outcome. Vickers also commented on Guyana's opposition Jamaican leader Aubrey Norton's recent condemnation of dancehall artists Skilly Bang and Spice. The two were headliners at the Guyana Cricket Carnival, a government-hosted concert. Norton chided the move, calling the artist the worst of the dancehall music. Vickers said that the root of the social issues being pinned on the music and culture is what need urgent attention. She said, quote, "I am Jamaican and these people are flying the flag of dancehall, so I can never agree with anything negative that anybody has to say about my culture. Promoters in Guyana would never book these people if there wasn't a demand from the Guyanese people. It's simple. The consumers are your own people. Don't pin your issues on Jamaican artists. You simply cannot label people the worst of a culture that your country embraces." End quote. Anytime a Jamaican gig comes his way, Leon is up for it. The latest, a fundraiser for the Issa Foundation, was something the veteran American actor-singer could not turn down. He and his band, Leon and the Peoples, will perform with Third World and DJ Nori at Sony Music Hall in Manhattan on November 12th. They will help raise funds to assist with building a children's healthcare center in Ocho Rios. Leon told reporters that he got involved with the project through Wayne Jobson, who introduced him to Paul Issa, principal of the Issa Foundation. Leon said, quote, "A project like this means the world to me and my band. I am Pistol, and that, my friends, was The Buzz."
That was The Buzz, your music news update for the latest on your favorite artists and more. Sponsored by JojoMacMusic.com.
Now here's the song from our sponsor, Jojo Mac.
Fear of something we know nothing about. It's in the air and we can't tell its whereabout. Something so strong it respects no one. It will take our life or change us for life. We're finding the invisible. Who thought this could be possible? It's raining down on us, but we can't give up. Though we can't see it, we can surely feel it. Invisible. Yes, we can feel it, but we can't see it. No, we can't see it. Bit by bit, somehow we'll get through it. Hit by hit, together we can beat it. It has love for no one. It will take us one by one. Lest we do everything that we can. We're finding the invisible. Who thought this could be possible? It's raining down on us, but we can't give up. Though we can see it, we can surely feel it. Invisible. Yes, we can feel it, but we can't see it. No, we can't see it. We must protect each other every day. Not just in times when we're afraid. We can't survive this alone. Everyone must stand for their own. What will it take to make us all see that we can win with unity? We're fighting the invisible. Who thought this could be possible? It's raining down on us, but we can't give up. Though we can't see it, surely feel it. We're fighting the invisible. Who thought this could be possible? It's raining down on us, but we can't give up. Though we can see it, surely feel it. Invisible. Yes, We can feel it, we can't see it, no, we can't see it. Invisible.
Greetings, one and all. This is Lloyd Brown giving full endorsement to
Stuck in Emotion Royal Blend Radio.
the station with integrity, the station with a difference. Remember me tell you, Lloyd Brown says so. Bulldog says
Stuck in Emotion Royal Blend Radio.
we not stop till we drop. Zane, blessed.
The Live Conversation Show.
Yeah. Turn up the volume in the mic like a piece more.
Turn up the volume on the mic.
What is good for the goose is good for the gander. They come with one bag of talking and one bag of slander.
Our beautiful guest today is the evergreen Empress Imani. Everybody give her a round of applause, please. Let's give her the applause. Now, if you're not familiar with her music, I am, and I know many of you may be, but for the minor few who may not know who she is, take a listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn up the volume in the mic like a piece more.
Before we begin, who is that little kid at the beginning? Is that your daughter?
That is my daughter, yes. Right. The song.
I knew it. And you need to see the video, guys. The video is,
Oh, thank you.
it's brilliant, you know. But we're going to get into this. Take a listen to a few bars and we'll begin.
Yeah. Turn up the volume in the mic like a piece more.
Turn up the volume.
Yeah. What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
I've got to get her daughter to do me a jingle. I love her voice, boy.
That's fine.
Let's start again.
Turn up the volume in the mic like a piece more. Yeah. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. They come with one bag of talking and one bag of slander. No weapon against me shall prosper. We burn up evil antics and dirty imposters. They will hear the trumpet sound from way over yonder. 'Cause good over evil, it will always conquer. They say treat mankind how you want to be treated.
For real.
Stand firm in your path, no you can't be defeated. Great with love how you want to be greeted. Won't get nowhere in life being cold and conceited. Some have a plan just to seek and destroy. They're on a mission just to come steal your joy. To brush it off, see is simply your choice. And in the end you will rejoice. The one is good for the goose is good for the gander. They come with one bag of talking and one bag of slander. See what is good for the goose is good for the gander. They come with one bag of talking and one bag of slander. They say the universe responds to what you believe in. The vibration you put out is what you're receiving. So long vibration, don't you feel it?
Let me tell you something. I am a big fan of this lady right here, Empress Imani. Even more so when I watched the video, I said, that's going to be her daughter. you know, and she looked real cute and she looked great. And it's an absolute blessing to have you on our show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm hearing some background noise that I wish could turn down a little bit. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
Is it on my side?
I'm not too sure. Okay, it's died down now. It's died down. Okay, so I want to thank Empress Imani for coming on this show. I'm going to bless up your team, Teresa Emmanuel, for also playing.
Absolutely. She's amazing.
As a matter of fact, her name goes back a couple of years, maybe 2010 or something like that. I remember her name was ringing on the circuit. Never met her, but I always knew of her name. So she's one of your reps, right?
Yeah, Teresa she's phenomenal. In terms of knowledge and support and just being a pioneer for reggae music. Yeah, she's one of the best people on my team, and yeah, it's a blessing to have her really and have her support on my journey. So.
And she was very diligent. We had a back and forth with emails. We made it happen. You're here now. You were here on time. Woohoo!
Lucky is on time.
And we're going to get into your musical history and journey. But before we begin that, in particular, what I want to do is come to one of our team members, Sharon Bentley, because she's the person who reached out to you and, you know, made it all happen initially. So, and it happens to be her birthday. So where is Sharon Bentley? Sharon Bentley.
I'm here.
When's the birthday, lady?
Put on the camera, please, because it's your birthday. Who is that person who was nominated to say it? Happy birthday.
Oh, Imani.
Gee, I think it was Imani.
Imani was nominated.
All right.
Okay.
Go for it, Imani.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Let's take him the word that this
Happy birthday. Wishing you many more.
Thank you very much, my dear.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What does it feel like to be 25, Sharon?
Who tell you that I'm 25? I'm only 16. I
don't
pass
sorry.
16. So you don't go there.
Tell me about 16.
I don't pass 16.
That's funny. That is so funny.
Where are you going with that? Don't.
I thought I was on safe territory. Say 25.
No. 16.
I remember that next time.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you, Sharon. Have a blessed birthday. We know you're here in the building and you have, you know, all the fun you need.
16.
You're up on the phone with somebody, you know.
16.
Okay, I've had to mute her. Sharon Mango, please introduce yourself and let's start.
Greetings and blessings to one and all in the room. Sorry, adjusting the headset. Blessings, Empress Imani. It is a pleasure to have you, young lady. I'm so excited to talk to you today. My goodness, such a talent. Such a talent.
Wow,
blessings to everybody in the room. I miss everybody. I've been back and forth doing all kinds of things. But DJ Maestro, Beverly Notes, Herline, Samsung, everybody. Blessings, greetings, blessings to one and all. I'm Sharon Mango, representing SBRB Radio and Royal Blend Productions. And it is an honor today to have Miss Empress Imani. Would you look how cute, self? You're too cute.
Thank you, sis. You're cute too, man.
10 star.
Okay.
It's a nice show today. Nice show.
Let's acknowledge those in the building. Hopefully, we'll have some more come through a little bit later. Who we got in the building?
Well, I just mentioned like Beverly Notes. Beverly Notes said, if Empress Imani remembers her, with question mark.
I think I do.
Yes,
I think
Beverly
I do.
Notes. Yeah. Very nice, DJ Maestro.
Yes, she's a DJ.
Yes. Samsung, I'm not sure who that is. But yeah, Selma. Selma Hurley, DJ Maestro, Beverly Notes, Samsung, and our host and hostess.
Empress Imani. Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
We have various people. We have various people wishing Sharon Mango. Sharon Bentley. A happy birthday. I should know better than that. You know what I mean? Having 3 Sharons in my life, and I still can't get it right.
Still mixing that up.
Imagine.
Oh, God.
But everybody's wishing Sharon Bentley a happy birthday. We wish her all the best, as per usual, and we know it's going to be great for her. We're going to come to Empress Imani, and we want to take you down memory lane. I, for one, have for a long time seen your works and admired your works, you know, and at the time I had to step away and do my thing for 3 years. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show was because of artists like yourself who exist in the industry, who are making a lot of noise, but there's a lot of people who are not seeing the light that you're shining, you right? And I see you shining a light, and I'm saying, I'm here. And you're throwing it in every single direction. And all now I'm asking, how many people see that light?
True.
So one of these shows is to raise the awareness, but also in your own words, to have you talk about your history, where you come from, your passion for music, the full 9 yards. We're going to take you there. You know, we have no script. It's all raw, you know, nice. So we're just going to take you there. I want to take you back to the family household. I see, just by reading your bio, from St Vincent. I have many people from St Vincent. Q Shandeas from St Vincent, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Right. And he's an old-time friend of mine. And a few other artists who come from St Vincent. However, tell me about the place where you were brought up. I know early you were born in the UK. At some point, you ended up in St Vincent. Tell us about that whole dynamic and how music was in the household.
Yeah, so I was just about to say that to you. Yeah, I was born in the UK, born in Leeds, but I spent kind of most of my childhood in St Vincent and the Grenadines. Yeah. I was fostered and adopted. So the lady that adopted myself and my siblings was from St Vincent and the Grenadines. So that's how I know the island. So a lot of my vibe and my sort of Caribbean flavor in the music, that's deep rooted and where it stems from in terms of me being an island girl and that being such a big part of my culture in the beginning. Because I think I was about 12 when I left the UK to go to the Caribbean, and then I probably returned at 18. So it was like kind of my teenage years growing up and been back and forth since. So it's a big part of my upbringing. What I will say is that, you know, it wasn't particularly smooth transition for me moving to the Caribbean. So I did experience like a lot of rough times. I've got a song coming out soon that's gonna just touch on a lot of that, and probably a little bit more detail in terms of my past and what I went through while living in the Caribbean, because it wasn't easy. But yeah, we ended up coming back here and creating a life back in the UK. So yeah. Okay.
So you mentioned that you were adopted. I don't know how much of that you want to share. You don't have to answer that question if you don't want to. But did you ever get to know who your real parents were?
I did in the end, yes. We did
Okay.
reconnect, and we're all in the UK now, so siblings and yeah, my birth mother. So
Okay.
it's
And
a little
and
bit
your
like a
family
Netflix
backline is
series.
from St Vincent, right?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Your family backline is from St Vincent.
My adopted family's line is from St Vincent, yes.
I'm
But
with
in
you.
terms of blood, we're talking Jamaica and a little bit of Barbados, actually. So that's another thing a lot of people don't know. So yeah, my story runs kind of deep,
Right,
and
right.
there's many layers to the onion.
So basically, we can say you're an island girl.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
100%, 100%.
Without a doubt, that bit's definitely clear and sure, yeah.
Right. I truly believe, just hearing what you've shared with us, that the Lord doesn't let anything happen by mistake.
Right.
And we're going to get in there. Sharon and I have a deep spiritual understanding of what we're talking about here. So, and I know we're going to get into it with yourself. One thing I love about you is your aura that
I
you
appreciate that
present to the
deeply.
world. I from my own, I can only speak for myself, and I'm just speaking for me. I know Sharon's going to speak for herself because she can talk for the world. That's true.
Give
But
thanks, give
I
thanks.
look at you. Well, let me just say this. I look at you, and it's almost like you're a magnet. You kind of draw people in. There's just not one layer to you. There's many. To me, there seems to be many layers to who you are, and that made me curious. I'm like scratching my head, thinking like, who is this person? What is she about? Where does all that come from? Where does that aura that you present, and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, where does
I
that
do, yeah.
actually come from?
You asking me? Sorry.
I'm asking you where that comes from.
Well, to be honest, what I will say is that I strongly believe that all of us are here on a journey. We have a particular destiny that's written for each and every one of us. And sometimes you might ignore the calling, but the calling will continue to call you. And the thing is, for me, I shouldn't even be here, literally. So another part of my story includes me almost dying in a house fire when I was younger. And to be fair, I was written up as critically ill. They didn't think I was going to start breathing again on my own. And for some reason, my breathing kicked in, and again, I defied all odds, basically. I temporarily lost my sight. It was restored. All of a sudden, I'm breathing, my heart's beating, I can see again. I was young at the time, but whatever that energy was that rejuvenated my spirit, it has stayed. So it's within me. So for me to understand that and what that means, I also understand that I'm here for a reason. And I'm here to probably inspire other people that have been through a lot of the things that I've been through, because I'm only skimming the surface, brother, I promise you. So knowing all of that, and also knowing that I'm here to create a legacy, so that when I leave and people are singing at my funeral, I've left a lasting impression also in general for the earth, but for my daughter as well, so it's bigger than me. So that's what I'm saying.
Take me back to the family household. You were adopted. What was the family like growing up in terms of music, and how did that kind of shape the way you said this is what you want to be or do?
Yeah, okay. Well, so My father is Rasta. He's not with us anymore. He has passed. But, you know, I grew up in the household hearing Dennis Brown and Bob Marley and, you know, culture music, reggae music from small, and singing the words, but not really singing the words or knowing the message, but completely connected to the vibration of the songs. And I'm not even probably, you know, 4 years old yet. So I've always had the frequency of the music within me from being small anyway. And even my mum sometimes, she laughs because she tells me that she was just like me at my age. So without me realizing, my mum was also into music and very cultural and into poetry, which I also do. And it's almost like I mirror that. So it's in the bloodline anyway. A lot of my other family members are writers as well, into music as well. So I was always immersed in that regardless. I remember being 6 years old and speaking about wanting to be a singer. So I've got like old notebooks with writings that I'd written when I was small, and I had a toy microphone. And I used to sing into the microphone and swing my hair because I had little plaits at the time. And I'd say, I'm going to be a singer on the stage. And, you know, we speak things into existence and manifestation takes place. And here we are. So, yeah.
So you used to sing, like, what were some of the earliest songs you could remember singing?
Probably mostly like Bob Marley stuff. And like I said, the Dennis Brown. My dad liked a lot of the a lot of the Rasta chants and that kind of thing. The Naya Bingy drums, which I'm very connected to that sound. So yeah.
And what part of London did you grow up? Was it Leeds?
So yeah, I didn't grow up in London. I live in Leeds, and I was born in Leeds. Yeah.
Right. What was it like growing up in Leeds?
Growing up in Leeds was okay. I just think it's definitely quieter than city life, which I like, and then sometimes I don't like, so it's a little bit of both really. But yeah, growing up in Leeds wasn't too bad.
Okay. And when was it that you left Leeds to go to St Vincent?
When was it?
Yeah, what year?
What year? Oh, I was about 11, 12. I'm not going to get into the year.
11, 12, okay. So 11, 12, and then you left St Vincent, came back to London or to the UK. What year, roughly what year?
Oh, I can't remember roughly what year, and I don't want to give my age.
You don't want to know your age. That's what it is.
But I came back to I came back to the UK at 18, 17. 18.
Okay. So when you came back to the UK, what was going through your mind as a young teenage lady?
Well, what I will say is that when you grew up in the islands, we're under the illusion that England is paved with gold. Everything's just shining, gleaming and pretty. So when I arrived in the UK from the Caribbean, it was very much a culture shock for me and my siblings. And I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, this is not what I expected. So that was a bit of a shock. So it took me a while to really settle and assimilate myself into the sort of UK culture. We wasn't used to the weather. I had no idea how to use like a cash machine and things like that. The colleges were different. And some of the mannerisms, the UK mannerisms, took us a while to adjust to, because we were just real raw, rugged island girls. So yeah, that took a little getting used to. Yeah.
Right. So had you completed high school in St Vincent before you came back to UK, Leeds?
That's correct. Yeah. So I did all my qualifications, secondary school qualifications in St Vincent. Yeah.
What happens next? So you end up in the UK. It's a big culture shock. You got to go out into the big bad world, whether you're going to do education or you're going to work. All these things are going on around you. Where do you find yourself mentally?
Well, for me, I've always been quite clear-headed. I worked and I studied. So as I worked and I studied, I knew that I wanted to get into music. So I joined a few programs while I was here. And then kind of a few years in to arriving here, that's when I started to take music a little bit more seriously and started to write my own stuff. So I worked and studied, but I knew what the vision was. So mentally, I'd probably say focused. I'm very ambitious as well. So I have this way that I can juggle things, and I won't allow stumbling blocks to get in my way. So even though people might think, obviously, college working and then trying to focus on the beginnings of a music career is difficult, I was determined to make it work one way or another. So yeah, that's probably what I'd say in terms of mindset, mentally.
Okay. So when did you realize that? At what age, I would say, did you say to yourself, this is something I want to go, take professionally? Let's take it from that step.
When I first stepped in a professional studio, when I was ready to record my first song and I stepped in a professional studio, that's when I knew. I felt like
who was it that said to you, Imani, you know what, you can't sing, Who was that person?
I have to pick up my singing well, I won't say singing teacher, but she was called Mrs. Harry, and she was in charge of like community projects in St Vincent and the Grenadines and working with young people. And we had a project that we were doing as a group. So everybody was singing and everybody had a part, but she could probably hear my voice kind of above the rest. And so she called me out and she said, "No, sir, come and sing the main piece in front. Somebody got on mic." And I was like, what? And then basically she gave me a lead part. And that's when I realized, okay, I've probably got a little bit of a voice here. The show was broadcasted over all the TV stations in the Caribbean. And I was like, sure, I'm gone clear, And then I kind of felt like that was the confidence boost that I needed. So big up Miss Harry one time.
Miss Harry.
Two time.
What's her name?
Mrs. Harry. I call her Mrs. Harry.
Harry, bless up yourselves.
Bless up, Mrs. Harry. So yeah.
Okay, I tell you what.
That's how it is.
Sharon, I can see a second right now.
Yes, well, we lost connection for a minute there, so I was like, oh Lord, me go and miss it. But I'm back. I'm back now. My turn, child, because 10 Star will hug the mic.
All right.
Yes. I'm a friend, I'm a love him, but he will hug the mic. So, girl, listen to me now. Your journey is unlike any other, because it seems that you were met with many obstacles, yet here you are as a young lady. I think the obstacles in itself has made you who you are, has made you stronger, resilient. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting to me that such a young person, and I keep saying young because you look like 15, so let me just say that. For such a young person, for such a young lady, you know what I mean, to be met with many obstacles. You were adopted, and then obviously, as you stated, you met I want to touch on that a little bit again, as 10 Star stated. If you're not comfortable with anything that we ask you, by all means, you do not have to answer, because we have no script. We are ourselves and we allow others to be themselves, right?
That's fine. Yeah. Thank you.
When you decided, when was it that you decided you wanted to meet your birth mother? If it did go that way, like, how did that come about? Being raised and being adopted by your St Vincent family, let's just say. How did that come about?
Well, to be fair, I'd probably say it was a situation of separation. So I was originally with my birth mother, and then there was a separation for a number of years.
Okay.
So then, you know, as I said, my siblings we were fostered and adopted. But as you can hear me saying, the separation was still in place. So there was a large gap of like several years where there was no contact. So when we did see our birth mother again, it was a situation where we were then reunited.
Okay.
And I got to send love to my bro as well. My brother, he's that one in the family that always puts together the family tree, and then he'll find the cousin halfway across and he'll say, "Yo, we have an uncle in New York," and he's the one that is like a detective, and he actually he located our birth mother because we didn't have an address for her at the time while being in St Vincent. He located her and found where she was, and then it was a situation where we were all reunited after all those years. So it literally is, it literally is like a movie. And the reason why I'm speaking about it openly, I am missing elements out, but I need to learn to probably just be a little bit more transparent about my journey, because it really does shape my music. It shapes who I am. And as I was saying as well, the next single that I am dropping is just a little bit more transparent to any of the other tracks that I've done previously. And I'm singing about my life and where the beginnings of Empress Imani are rooted. So, yeah.
But that's important. I think that
definitely
you deciding to do this. So that's, I said, I'm asking you these questions for a reason, because you are going to be so surprised how many people that you help. There are people who don't even want to touch that surface. Yeah. Because things are so deep rooted, and I understand there's things being left out, and that's fine. However, there are people who are just so ashamed or don't want to talk about it. You will help people to get back on that path and say, but people need to know that if these things happen to you, you will be okay with God, and perseverance is so important, because it's a form, it's a mental state of mind that you have to be in. Yeah. Given everything that you went through, you could have went a whole nother path. It could have been downhill, but your star was rising. There are many others that need stories like yours to move forward, to make that difference.
Thank you for saying that. I also feel like it's just part of my journey here on earth. It is. Well.
It is. That is, one of your purposes. Like God sustained you. Right? Yeah. You almost didn't leave the hospital bed. Yeah, exactly. I know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? I have been there. I know what that feels like. And I expected to not be here. I wasn't supposed to be here. So I understand your journey. And then you go through these things and you have no idea where you're supposed to be. You don't know. You have no idea. But if God has woken you up that next morning, and every other morning, thus far, we have a purpose.
We are here for a purpose.
We're here for a purpose. Like, no matter what's going on, we all go through our struggles. You have been through yours, and there's many others, but you're here.
It's how you come out of it. Yeah.
It's how you come out of it, by expressing, being transparent, and helping your fellow man. Yeah. And apparently that is the ultimate goal in God's plan. Be willing to stretch your hand out to help somebody, talk to them, let them know I've been there, I did this, and here I am. Definitely. So you are definitely en route to your life's purpose. It's a very beautiful thing to watch a young lady speak out like that. It's an amazing thing. Yes, girl. So we're gonna go back to Mrs. Harry now. So Miss Harry said, "Go on, girl, go up there, go sing." How you go take the mic?
Sorry, said, "Hey, little girl, take the mic."
Yes.
Yeah, bless her.
So from there now, who did you think you were? From that whole connection with Mrs. Harry, like, what did you think to yourself? Can I do this? Do I want to do this? Where were you in that mental state?
Yeah, definitely all those thoughts crossed my mind. So probably first doubt, shock, doubt. And then I started to feel a little bit more confident. And once I'd practiced and really stepped into my role, I felt comfortability. And I felt certainty that this is a path that I want to go down and pursue. I felt like me, felt like I was walking into myself, if that makes sense. Yeah.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So did you already start writing songs then? I think I heard you say you did poems. Were you writing then?
I mean, I wasn't writing music at that stage. No, I was very young at that stage. I started writing my own music later down the line. So, but I was still performing, but we were doing like, you know, covers and that sort of thing. So I started writing later on. Yeah.
Okay. So what was your first stage show? What was the first time you really performed and people were like, whoa, that's who's all that girl is?
It made me think then. Oh, you know what? I ended up entering some pageants in the Caribbean. So I lived with a Rasta lady out there, and she entered me, and she supported me through the application process. And my first performance was on the actual show, which I won, and won Best Talent. I think Best Evening Wear and Best Interview, mash up the show. And I performed a song about all the kind of trials and tribulations happening in the earth, and I had a whole sort of acting routine. And funny enough, I was dressed as like a Rasta lady. So that was probably my first stage debut.
And how old were you then?
About 15.
Okay.
14, 15. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And that was amazing.
So that was your first stage show. So after that, what happened? Like, who did you meet? Who else was pushing you to say, hey, we could do something, you know? I think we want to work with this young lady. Like, who were your influences in that respect at that time?
Probably I'd say the lady that I was staying with at the time, and probably friends and family. And then sort of the promotional teams in the Caribbean that were putting on little shows. So then I entered other pageants from then. So that's where the performing aspect of it, I got a little bit more exposure with that, because I started entering a few more of the competitions. So.
And so when you came back to the UK now, what was going on?
Music-wise, or?
Yes, music-wise.
Yeah. Music-wise, yeah. So I think, to be honest, when I came back to the UK, I discovered Studio 12 in Leeds. So I want to big up those guys as well. Yeah, they've been monumental in my journey. They support young people into the arts, from music to recording to writing to workshops. So I remember, they actually filmed the video Good for the Goose as well. So I know you were bigging up the video.
Yes.
They supported me with that and did the filming on that. A lot of my early like photo shoots and recordings and things I did with them. So once I got affiliated with that sort of project, they supported all kinds of workshops and shows. I got put on like shows in connection with One Extra that was supporting young people in Leeds.
Oh, right. Yes.
I was down as an artist opening for like David Rodigan with those guys. We did some stuff at the Belgrave Music Hall with Misha B. So the more I started to get into different projects with those guys, it just led on to one thing, kind of led onto another, and just kind of stuck up from there. Yeah.
Wow, Leeds in the house. I was like, I didn't even know all that stuff was going on in Leeds. Yeah, you have to listen. A lot of people, I mean, I'm in the US, but going back and forth, I really didn't even know. You know what I mean? I didn't know. I was like, oh, Leeds in the house. We have to pick them up. And, you know, even helping to pick up Leeds, man, and the facility where you were that helps the young people get started. That's wonderful. And that's good for people to know.
Yeah,
very good for people to know.
Yeah, they're brilliant. And sometimes for me as well, people are not always going to reach out to you. I'm very much about empowering myself. So if I can do something to empower myself, I'm going to do that. So it was me kind of reaching out and researching to see what's going on, and I did discover them. So obviously a lot of people might not know, but yeah, Studio 12 in Leeds. Yeah, amazing. So I've received the most support on my musical journey in the UK, in my hometown, from those guys in the beginning stages, and up until now. So yeah, that's been great.
Yeah, that's wonderful. A 10 star. I was just thinking to myself, that's something we might even want to look into, just to shed light on them as well. You know what I mean? And just to let a lot of young people, if they don't know, you know, I think it's always a beautiful thing, because
support.
If they don't know, it's exactly. So
well,
we definitely,
you know, that is definitely something we are going to be looking at. As a matter of fact, just to give some people a heads up, we have a shining young star. I think she's about 10 or 12 years old. I'm not too sure on the age. But a very young singer out of Jamaica who's doing some great things. We've recognized her greatness, and we are going to be bringing her onto this show. So this show is about making, you know, gone are the days when I used to just play music for playing sake, and that's all well and great. But, you know, for me, and I know for Sharon as well, and for the entire team, is about how we can make a difference in the world before our time expires. You know what I mean?
I love that. And to be honest, I've just finished coaching a young lady for the Voice Kids UK just yesterday, actually, and she's also around the same age. I'm not going to reveal her name as such yet. You know, we're waiting.
Tell me look later, man. Tell me look later.
We've got our fingers crossed. Yeah, it'll all be revealed. You know, I'm going to say when she gets through, because we're not even going to say if coming at, you know, if. But she's amazing, and you're right, it's all about support, and especially the young people, because they are the next generation. So it was amazing coaching her, and you know, being an inspiration, as her parents were saying, they've been inspired by my work. So that was such a blessing.
Well, that's right.
So yeah, so pick up that sis. I hope I get to see her work.
Yeah, Jasmine Headley. As a matter of fact, I'll let you know when she's coming on. Yeah, we're going to be. Yeah. I'll let you know when she's coming on. But she really is great. And one of the things that I wanted to bring to you was, I was reading your bio. I read it over and over and over, and one of the things that I realized is that you entered a competition called Reggae Star Factor.
I did.
I do believe we're talking about Serlene, right?
In terms of the person who
or is that, maybe I got that wrong, is that Britain's Got Reggae, or?
Yeah, that's
Britain's Got Reggae, Serlene.
Yeah, so who was Reggae Star Factor? Who was that?
She's amazing though, but that's Britain's Got Reggae, so it's, I think it's a little bit separate.
Okay. Tell me about Reggae Star Factor. How did you get to be part of that? And tell me, you know, your time with Reggae Star Factor, because you were the runner-up, right?
I got best runner-up, yeah. Reggae Star Factor, it was great. It was a good experience. I can't remember how I found out about it, if it was somebody that told me that it was taking place, or I spotted the advertisement. But I remember applying and going to the audition, and then just that feeling when I got through from the auditions, and then the first heat was brilliant. Meeting Carol Thompson and working with the band. Bitty McLean was my mentor for that. So that was
Bitty McLean. Ooh, love him.
Yeah, come on, we all know.
Yeah.
So they gave us all, you know, mentors, and I was blessed enough to have Bitty McLean as my mentor, and I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed it, and I think those memories are always fond ones. And I think I think stuff like that for UK reggae is brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Because I do remember there was Britain's Got Reggae, which I was affiliated with in some way. In that, when Serling came out with Britain's Got Reggae, I came out with a show which I had created called Non-Stop British Reggae, or British Reggae Non-Stop.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And at the time, what we would do is, we would feature many of those artists who were featuring on Britain's Got Reggae.
Right.
At the time, I actually thought Serling was part of Britain's Got Reggae and Reggae Star Factor, but Beverly Notes is letting me know it was Diane White. Diane White. Right. So we give her, thanks for what she did in creating that show.
Absolutely.
To highlight British.
Yeah.
What did that show do for you, Reggae Star Factor?
Oh, it was definitely great in terms of exposure. I got to meet some amazing people, so the networking aspect of it was amazing. I think it definitely just put my name out there a little bit and just helped with learning about being on stage and having the platform to be able to perform and express yourself. Because for me, with that competition, my mindset was like, everyone's singing, how do I make my performance stand out a little bit more? So even things like Conscious King, which is one of my probably most popular singles, I'm talking about oatmeal porridge and reading knowledgeable books in the song, and I came up with a basket, and in the basket having oatmeal, and it had in the book and fruit in the basket, and it was a whole performance, and everybody was telling me about this basket on the stage. And I also sang a song about mashing down any system of oppression, and I remember it was very heated around Black Lives Matter at that time. We had a lot of situations going on with deaths with police custody, and I got a placard and wrote all the names down, and while I was singing I held the placard up and I was talking about how important unity is. So I added all these little extra props and elements in, so it gave me a chance to be creative and expressive and really touch upon things that are passionate to me in the performance. So yeah, it was great.
So it sounds like you were understanding who you were and what you wanted to see in the world,
Yeah,
I always have this saying where I say, if you want to see better in the world, you've got to be that point of change. You as an individual can be the change that you wish to see. It sounds like mentally, physically, spiritually, you will be morphing yourself into the change you wanted to see.
I've been trying.
Yeah. Now, maybe when I was your age, I was thinking about other things, maybe it wasn't as dire as it is now,
Right.
But as I got older, I started to, want to do the things that you were doing now, if that makes any sense. What you're doing now, I'm understanding the importance of holding up these placards and speaking loud rather than allowing the system to restrict what you can and can't say. But you found that at a very young age. That must have been empowering.
I would say, it was definitely empowering. I think for me, because I have also been a writer and doing poetry and things, speaking out and obviously being expressive about certain things was always part of who I was anyway. So it comes out in elements of the music as well, and it definitely comes out in my poetry.
Right.
And if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So yeah.
I must say, one of my great friends from out of Jamaica is a poet, and his name is Yasus Afari. And he's a great poet. I'm eager to hear one of your poems. What comes to mind if I was to ask you to recite a poem now?
Oh gosh, right, let's see.
Even if it's a few bars, just go in it. Say anything you want to say.
Torn, dismantled, beaten and broken. Lies the spirit of our Black Panthers' devotion, written out of the books that your children are holding, as African slaves lay dumped in the ocean. Deep in the depths, our ancestors have spoken and gathered together those who have been chosen. See, Africa's rich in diamonds and gold, yet we're still grabbing on to the myths we've been told. We need so much more. Clean water for my people like torrential downpour, not money from World Bank or fake corporations. We need justification for many a nation to spark an uproar and inspire the new generations.
Come on, clapping that hand, Sharon. Clapping that hand.
Wow, you have to tell me that. Wow.
That's what I got.
That is deep.
Black History Month,
deep.
You know.
Well,
Wow.
I tell you what, you know, there's more to than meets the eye than what we can extract in this maybe 1 to 2 hour interview, you know, with you. One of the things that I do want to say, I absolutely love the way you sing. There's more than singing. How do I put it? I have a funny way of listening to music and how people come across, you know. And one of the things that I saw about you is that there's an aura about you, you know, especially when you're singing and performing your songs, you know. And as we get into your conversation, I'm now understanding where that is coming from, you know. And, you know, like Sharon said, your being here is by no mistake, you know. And there's always going to be people who's going to understand, you know, what you are about, that will understand what you're singing about, that you will be able to pull them from that point of danger, you know. And, you know, even when you feel that no one is listening to you, even if they never gave you a like or a love or a whatever, there's always going to be someone who understands what you are about when you listen, you know, they listen to your music, you know. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on the show is you've got too many songs for me to extract right now. I want to extract one of those songs from my vault, which you have, all right, which I love so much because of its message and what you're singing about. And I'm going to play that right now. I'm just going to play a few bars, right? Here it goes.
Tell them to be. Tell them to be. Tell them to be pure in heart. You gotta know yourself from the start. Tell them to be pure in heart. To light the fire, you first need a spark. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure.
Pull it up again, pull it up again, pull it up
I
again.
had to pull it up. Listen to that guitar.
Tell them to be pure in heart. You gotta know yourself from the start. Tell them to be pure in heart. To light the fire, you first need a spark. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure. Black woman and child, I know that you've been pushed down for a while. Load on your shoulders and traveling for miles. Endure to the end, it will all be worthwhile. Cause knowledge is key. They're finding cities at the bottom of the sea, trying to wipe out the rich legacy. A rebellistic nature will find to be free. Where are the secrets residing? Where are the documents the Vatican are hiding? Too much jealousy and too much backbiting. to be united. Tell them to be pure in heart. You gotta know yourself from the start.
You better behave yourself. You're talking about too much things.
Yes.
On that song. That's one of my favorite tracks as well.
Talk about some things. Now, tell me about who the producer and that band is, whoever. But more to the point, who's playing that guitar?
Yeah, don't play games with that guitarist. Yeah, so I've worn a t-shirt today. So this is the Royal Sounds. This is like their merchandise. So the Royal Sounds. So it's Sassy.
I know about that band.
Yeah, they're great. We've done some amazing work together. They're my reggae brothers. Jassy's playing the guitar. He's one of the best young guitarists of like my generation that I have ever heard. I think he is phenomenal. So I definitely want to big him up. And you're just like me. The first thing I heard when we were doing that track, I said, Sean knows the guitar.
Guitar.
Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we've got a Johnny who plays bass guitar, but they're multi-talented. So when they're putting a rhythm together, they're still doing the keys, and they might get somebody to do the drums, like Rimbim, who we also work with, or somebody else. But then a lot of the instrumental renditions and things, they're putting it all together, and they've done fantastic work. They've actually produced most of my music, because we've had such great musical synergy. And with me, when I first, the music on that track, it's the dynamics of it. And then when it gets to the middle, it switch again and it changes and goes to a different frequency. And when a rhythm makes the hairs on my skin raise up, I know that is the one for me. So I sat up in bed. I remember listening with my ears. I said, and then I wrote that song, and I'll write whatever I'm feeling. If that's how I felt when I heard that music, then that's what's going to come out. And Pure in Heart was the song that came out on that. So yeah, big up to them guys.
I like to say, that to me, that is the kind of music I like to hear. It shows the creativity, and you share with us that you wrote that song.
I write all my songs. There's nothing that I put out that I've not written.
Powerful,
it's a great song.
Powerful song.
Thank you
is
very
powerful.
much.
I feel, this is how I feel personally, and I'm not saying it because it sounds good to say it to you while we're on air and to make me look good and to make you puff up your head or whatever, right? And I'm speaking from the heart now, right? That song weighs up with any international artist out there. As far as I'm concerned, if I was part of Billboard and part of the voting procedure or whatever it is, I'd be saying, yo, put that song in there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
100%.
Now, when we come to the Royal Band, or Royal what?
Royal Sounds.
Royal Sounds. Remind me, or whoever runs that band, was Elroy Bailey part of that sound, that band? Did he ever work with them?
Russell.
Russ Elroy, yeah.
Yeah, that's their father. So that's where it's coming. We always have to have the bass root. So I was going to mention that. Yeah, so they've grew up with that sort of teaching from young.
Wow.
So
right. Now, Russ Elroy was my very, very good friend from Slate, Black Slate.
Right,
the legendary Black Slate, who sadly passed away from cancer, may his soul rest in peace. But he had told me that he was working with the Royal Sounds at the time. And I do believe they were doing a concert in Lubbock Grove, which is my territory. And they were supposed to do a concert there, which he invited me to, which I couldn't attend, And it was so funny that Royal Sounds was a band which I was trying to get on my show a year previous to Elroy working with them.
Okay, right, I see. Oh,
Now I know where Empress Imani extracts her power from, because sound without that power behind it really doesn't bring out that energy or that inspiration for you to even write anything. You got to have the right sound behind you.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
I agree with that.
100%.
People understand. So you know what? I'm going to play that one more time. I'm just going to play a few bars. I have to play that song because that song is phenomenal. But anybody who doesn't know what that song is, it's called Pure in Heart and is on iTunes.
Right.
Thank you.
The True Empress.
Yeah, man.
All right.
To be pure in heart. You gotta know yourself from the start. Tell them to be pure in heart. To let the fire you first need to start. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure. Black woman and child, I know that you've been pushed down for a while. Load on your shoulders and traveling for miles. Endure to the end, it will all be worthwhile. Cause knowledge is key. They're finding cities at the bottom of the sea, trying to wipe out the rich legacy. A rebellistic nation will fight to be free. Where are the secrets residing? Where are the documents the Vatican are hiding? Too much jealousy and too much backbiting, when we all should be united. Tell them to be pure in heart. You gotta know yourself from the start. Tell them to be pure in heart. To light the fire you first need to start. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure. It draws attention as what they declare. Look to the sky, emperor in the air. Rise up, speak out and bold if you're there. These are serious times, we should all be prepared. Seek wisdom if it's not provided. Don't sit and watch while the world is divided. Many misled, many misguided. It's put an end to the war and the fight. Tell them to be pure in heart. You gotta know yourself from the start. Tell them to be pure in heart. To light the fire you first need to start. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure. Tell them to be pure.
Ooh. You know, I could play that song all day.
Nah.
I really could. I really could. You know, again, it's a powerful song. I like the fact that you write your own songs. Like I say, it weighs up with any other international artist. I hear so many people singing foolishness out there, you know, and it gets the #1 spot. And then hear someone like Empress Imani who's singing these great songs which get swept under the carpet.
Not for long, though. Let me tell you about that. It is not going to be for long. Yeah,
Yes, man.
They're going to dispense with all the garbage. You know, hear about it. They're
Yes,
dispensing
man.
with the rubbish and bringing in good music.
Got me in this, Mango.
Yeah, for real. No, no, no. You're not listening to the radio. Them are dispense with the rubbish. Them tired of the rubbish.
They're tired of it.
I'm tired.
They're tired. They're tired. It's a real
we need
thing.
More substance. We need more substance. And
We
exactly
do.
What you said, like, you know, the negativity is pushed to the front line, and the conscious musical substance that will allow us to elevate the mind gets put on the back burner. That has to end. You know.
Well,
Wait, let me ask you another question. Let me ask you another question, because here's something else that amazed me about yourself, right? This wasn't just no computer sounding music. right? You went to the fundamentals of roots as we know it.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So for me, anything that's just authentic and organic is the direction that I want to head in. So in terms of the music, I don't really like a sound that is inauthentic to me or sounds programmed. So even working with the Royal Sounds, I love the fact that even if we were putting a drum pattern down and it's going through the computer, they're going to make sure that when we do the rhythm, a real live drums we are playing, just little elements of percussion, you know, little cymbals, just the real rawness of the music. And I'll tell you, listen, even for me, I see like, you know, even a lot of, I know social media is big right now in terms of like putting yourself forward and putting your music out there. And even like the little home videos that I do, you know, or maybe videos that you might just be singing but filmed professionally. Sometimes a lot of people say to me to run the vocals through beforehand and then have the vocals pre-edited. And I said, no, listen, I just want to sing naturally and just flow in my natural organic vibe.
Right.
And however that frequency comes out, if I want to say, ooh, 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 la, 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 hey, and go off on a tangent, let that come across that way. And I don't have to have it programmed into a computer and have to, you know, like mime the words and follow along. Let it just flow naturally.
Yeah.
So I'm very much, I put that into my element of working.
Right.
So yeah, the Royal Sounds understand that, which is why they've done a lot of my music. So we always try to keep it organic.
Right. Okay, so I mean, there's so much to ask you. I want to talk to you about some of the awards that you've received. Tell me about some of them, because it says you're the winner of the Leeds Contribution to Black Music.
That's
Talk
correct.
to me about that.
Yeah, so that was probably when I first started kind of, you know, really kicking off my musical journey when I did come to the UK. It was an award show that I'm not sure if they do it annually anymore, but I believe they did at the time. And yeah, I was just so surprised at that. And that was my first UK award. So big up to the team. And there's certain sort of selective individuals in Leeds that are dear to my heart, that have always supported my journey from day. And those were the, you know, the individuals that awarded me. And yeah, that was amazing to be recognized in that way.
So really and truly, even though, like initially I said that you're holding up a light, here I am, I'm doing this great music, not literally, but you know, you're doing this great work.
Yeah.
It's for us to recognize who you are when you show yourself to be who you are, right? And you're showing yourself, and I'm not sure if people are getting it. Yet, on the other hand, where I feel like you're not getting the respect you deserve, there are those who are recognizing.
Yeah, no, I do.
Does that even make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, it sounds strange saying it like that, but there's definitely both sides of the fence. So I've had a little bit of both as well. So I do have a lot of accolades, you know, against my name, but then sometimes certain doors that I might be knocking or certain platforms that I'm wanting to rest my feet and not being granted to me per se, or I feel like I'm not being acknowledged in the same way as maybe other artists, or in a way that you would expect for somebody that's kind of representing her hometown in whatever capacity. So I've had those sort of issues as well, but then I've also had just an abundance of love and appreciation from other angles too. So it's been a bit bittersweet.
I tell you what, we have to give Leeds their props. We have to give Leeds their props.
Yeah, honestly,
right?
100%.
For great music. So guess what? We are going to do this. Hold on.
Absolutely.
Big up the realest them in Leeds that have supported me on my journey. They know who they are.
Yeah.
Love to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I said from the gate. Leeds,
Just
we need people to know.
before I bring in Sharon Mango, let me just mention this other award. You received the Beffta Award, or the Beffta Award Winner for Best UK Reggae Act, right?
I did.
For 2016, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
2016. And what was that like?
Listen, that one was just a little bit more of a special moment for me. I'd probably say the reason for that was because the award that I got from Leeds, there wasn't like such a large list of nominees. But with this award and me seeing this award show, and in my mind, hoping that one day I'd be able to win an award with such an accolade behind it. So I think Don Campbell was in that category. Like some of the artists that were in that category.
Wait, so wait, you say you knock off Don Campbell?
Yeah. I think he's won it the following years after that, or the year after, or 2 years after that. But I mean, that's just one of the names that comes to mind. But the list was long. So
you ain't playing. You're dealing with the heavyweight like paper.
So that was amazing. Thank you. That was amazing. And the thing with that, I'm, as you know, I'm very spiritual, and I'm into sort of the spirituality aspect that's tied to numbers. So the day when I won it, my lucky number is number 9, which is a highly spiritual number for me. And I remember it was the 27th. And on the day, I thought, the 2 and a 7 is a 9. And then the category that I was in was number 9. And then I just kept seeing all these synchronicities. And I remember saying to my cousin, yeah, knows the number keeps coming up. King saying, in with a chance for winning it. I said, do you think I might have won it? And then all day, this number kept coming up. I think even my dressing room was number 9 and all these things. And then it just so happened. It was just crazy when they announced my name and I'm sat there and my cousin's like, phew, get up. So yeah, it was a really surreal experience. And I'll never forget that. And my daughter was backstage with me, so she got to hold it and stuff. So that was amazing.
So Sharon, I think I better give you the mic, otherwise you know me.
Yeah, well, as long as Imani know how it go. I love him enough. I love him.
I'm not that bad, really.
I love him, but I love him. Oh, you also won though 2018. Is it the FM? What was it?
Female Rising Star Award.
Yes.
That one.
Yes. 2018. Vibes FM 2018. What was that like?
That was fire. The support on that was amazing. Mr. Mighty, I love him. I love his vibe. Again, he's always kind of championed the vibes from day dot. And I was shocked again. I'm shocked again when I was like, are you sure? And then I got the call to say, Empress, you win another. After this cannot be real life right now. So that was so amazing. And again, I always polish my awards, have them line up. And it's just
them
nice.
off and polish them, yeah.
Polish them off, make sure them, they're gleaming. And it's always nice just to be recognized and appreciated for the hard work that you put in. So yeah.
It's very important because as much as you're still on the rise. You're still on the rise, you're still doing your thing, you're still on the rise to get to where you should be. And that's coming, evidently, in my eyes and my gut feeling, that's coming sooner rather than later. Of course, for me, there had to be certain shifts in the industry. And I see those shifts coming. I see the shifts coming. Like 10 Star and I, on many occasions, we do talk about, we admire each and every artist for what they bring to the table. However, a lot of music and stuff that is out there has brought a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
And kind of capped people at a certain level where bring in all the negativity and you surpass that. Anything that's bringing positive, you kind of stay under here. But now I see this. This is coming now. You know what I'm saying? Because the shift, I knew it was coming. The shift.
How you know so much?
The shift, why you know, hear me to talk about it a long time.
This one's giving me goosebumps.
I've always been that spiritual being, because I said, we are all spiritual entities in now, regardless of what. And some people's light shines brighter than some.
Yeah.
Empress Imani's light, when she's out there, hers is always shining because her time is coming. Sometimes it's even brighter. The light is brighter than most. And you see this girl and she comes up vocally, but like, yeah.
I had to put on my sunglasses to rest.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, because you keep saying this on Aura. But there had to be a shift, because you cannot keep negativity is what is destroying our world in every essence, whether it's through speeches, shows. It can only get to a certain point, and the shift is now coming. Because if you haven't heard, you 10 Star, I'm sure you must have heard, because I'm listening all the time, waiting to hear it. Okay, they're going to be banning all negative lyrics. Them no I about no gun, no weed, no this. They don't want to hear it no more. That is big.
Yeah, I agree with this. When I heard that, I felt the same way.
Yeah, and I said, see, the shift is coming.
Yeah.
That being said, the Empress Imani's were already set in place, ready. There's a good few like that, and that's how it had to go this way. You may not think, okay, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Trust me, you're right where you need to be. Because when your time is called, you'll be like, oh, I'm ready. Oh, shoot, me ready for real.
Where, so she's right where?
She's right where she needs to. That's right. Right where she needs to be.
Yeah.
Right. The sisters are on the rise, like the lioness.
The sisters are on the rise. Yes, sis. There is a whole influx of powerful, strong, feminine energy, and it's definitely part of the shift that you're talking about, in line with the positive energy, and it's coming with a full force. And me, I'm coming with a force.
That's right.
I'm part of the army. I'm right there too.
Right, you're part of that. There had to be an army, though. There had to be an army ready in place, especially for the females. We've been pulled down so much. So much has been expected of us to be literally half naked to get to it. No, we don't have to.
To get to be.
That's not a true. Yes, that's not a true statement anymore. That is like, again, that shift was coming. Realness is what is necessary. The positivity. We are raising young queens.
We are
raising young queens. There had to be a shift. So I commend you for what you're doing. Again, I commend you for your resilience, because you're young lady, your time is coming. I will come out. And we're excited because
the signal.
You know what I mean? I'm going to be bringing all these beauties. Who's?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Sharon, you're back with us? Unmute.
Yes.
All right. Your internet was breaking up for a second.
Okay, so I will say again, the time is coming for our queens to rise.
Yes.
Just like the lioness, it is our time. It is your time. You are where you're supposed to be, and everything in its time and place. Each and everything is in its time and place, and your time is now. It's a come. I've heard your songs, they're wicked. But the difference, and you know what's different is 10 Star, is her vocal versatility. It's how you bend a note. It's how you deliver the song which makes you so different.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
you.
Everybody could sound, I mean, it's millions of singers, but there's that one person, when she bends a note.
Ask her if she went to music school. Ask her if she went to music school.
Did you go to music school, young lady?
No, I've never been to music school.
See? All natural, homebred, a natural beauty, you know, see, naturalness.
Gosh, you guys are blessing me up differently today. I'm going to be flying after this phone call.
Yeah, girl, it's your voice though.
Thank you.
Music, we all see, like 10 Star and I see things differently. Of course, being involved in music myself and in the bands and doing all this stuff. But if I hear somebody, I see, when you listen to music and you listen to a song, it's the total delivery. How the song, the music, great. How you make that music work with the vocals is a whole nother story. How they marry each other is just, and you do it.
Thank you so much, because I'm very I'm very self-critical. I'm very much a perfectionist. So,
and you can tell by your whole
that.
but you can tell by your whole delivery. So it's the different sound. It's you listening and honing in your craft. That is the beauty in itself. So it's not just saying I can sing and I'm gonna do this. It's in the heart, y'all.
In the right way,
in the right way, you do it.
Here's what I tell only a few people, right? And the few people that I do tell this to, I won't even mention the names, but I will mention to Imani.
Right.
I'm able to see your name.
Yep.
That Imani has released a brand new single, album, whatever. I literally do not have to hear it for me to go to that digital outlet and buy it.
100%.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
And it's not everybody you can do that with. Some people you have to hear it first and say, nah, forget it. But there's some you can hear see the name and buy it.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I've got my
will buy it according to
favorites.
Aura that artist presents.
Right.
You fall into that category.
Right.
What I would like to do at this point is to encourage you, filter out the noise and all the madness and the foolishness and whatever you know. For one, now that I realize that who Royal Sounds are, you know, from my days being a good friend with Rasta Elroy, because he had told me about them and I'd known who they were, even previous to Elroy telling me who they were. Then it made complete sense. Couldn't come to their concert. I knew they were a great band, but hearing what they have done with you is simply amazing.
Yeah,
you know, they've been able to use your voice, which has become an instrument itself, to be part of that instrumentation that they provide to bring out the beauty of what you have to present. So with me saying that, I want to say to you that you have greatness within you that many of us out here recognize. I'm hoping that when people watch this back on YouTube, there are going to be another army of people who's going to come at you also. You know, I'm all for great music, good vocals, good. I used to say that, has good songwriting died a death? I cannot honestly say that where Empress Imani is concerned.
Oh.
When it comes to puff up your head, you know, me just tell you the truth.
All right, then. I can't argue with that.
What I have to say, you know?
And
the beauty is that you bring good lyrical content, you bring education, you bring a lot of beauty in your music. Before we round up this conversation, I want to talk about your fashion sense, where it speaks loud and clear. You know, you see it and you say, this is Empress Imani. I don't know anybody who looks like Empress Imani, but Empress Imani looks like Empress Imani. Where does this fashion whole thing, where did it start from?
I'd probably say it started from, so as I said, my dad was Rasta, and to be fair, I'm probably a lot like him. So he wears the colourful cloaks, you know, the orange and the purple and the gold, and then he's got beads around his neck, and then he's got beads on his hands, and everything about kind of who he is as a person, there'll be like some element of that will show on the outside in his attire. And then he didn't wrap his hair all the time, but then he'd normally, if him have on the purple, it might go match the head wrap with the purple as well. And one day I said to him, Daddy, you teach me how to wrap my hair. And he said, listen, find a piece of material, and he said, find your own style. And I was like, what? So I sat in the mirror and I found my own style. And I believe it's just him saying that. Everybody knows me love a head wrap. I've got the braids in now. People assume that I'm Rasta, but it's just a little bit that I've grown up in. And I believe that it's sacred to wear a crown on your head. So it's just the style I adopted. And then with the colours, with the head wraps, I started to get just connected to different African prints and understand what that represents. So the Ankara print and the Kente. And then I just started to just kind of find who I am in terms of expression through my style. So yeah, I am known for, you know, I'll be the brightest bomb in the room.
I tell you what, it seems like you've made up for what you have lost during the younger years.
Right.
As a matter of fact, to me, you become a stronger person than you ever would have become, you know. And I thank God Almighty for who you have become, which is why I say to you, it's easy for me to see why you become the person that you have become today. And I keep on saying to you, you know, I want you to keep on just doing what you love doing, because whatever you are doing mystically, it's working. For me as an individual, is working. It worked enough for me to say, we need her on this show.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's where I'm coming from. So whatever you're doing, it is working. Even if people don't ever give you a like or a love or whatever, people are seeing with their big eyes what is going on with Empress Imani. Never ever wonder. You're making timeless music. Me love it. It's in my catalog, and I'm forever going to be playing this music to the world. Sharon, what do you have to say before we reach out to the general audience? You know,
I concur with everything 10 Star said. You are making timeless music. I feel like your light is shining brighter than you could possibly imagine, and you will be relevant to those who are making a difference in the world. Me not care for nobody else. If them know I like you, me no business about that. That I know nothing. Who you are important to,
it will resonate.
It's gonna resonate. And that's what it is, because you don't need anybody to come in and dim your light. Enough people could come in right now, but they're going to dim your light. You will stay true to who you are and continue to write positive lyrical content, because it is necessary. Now, more so because of what's happening now, you will see that they're going to be looking for artists like you. Oh, bring her on. Listen to what she has said. Yeah, you all should have been listening to that long time. Right now it's going to be needed. Now they're recognizing, oh my gosh, this might be contributing, these words might be contributing to the failures in our young youth, what they follow, what they see as their God. No, a spiritual awareness, a spiritual awakening is happening in the most, oh my God, prolific way.
Yeah.
It's happening.
It is.
It's happening. Whether we choose to believe it or not, it's happening. Be grateful you're a part of that journey. I am so blessed to be talking to you, young lady, because I feel like our spiritual connectivity, I feel it strongly. I'm really that person. I really am. And I think I became even more that person after I went through my trials and tribulations of almost not being here. And to hear you went through that, you become a very different person.
Yeah.
You're just different. You see things differently. You feel things differently. You know what I'm saying? When you knew that all was lost, all right, I'm going to go, and was even whether you were prepared to, yes or no, you were on that way. And no, God said, no, you have work to do, you know. And it's recognizing that aspect of your life, no matter what happens after that. It's recognizing, like, boy, you know what? I'm gonna have to keep going, you know. Today, I don't even feel like, but I'm gonna have to keep going, you know.
Yeah.
That is our plight. That's our plight, and that's our journey. And thanks be to God, you're recognizing yours at this young age. And I keep saying young, because trust me, you look like 15. I mean, no, sir, you still going to look like 15 another 20 years from now.
I let them count blessings, man. Blessings.
And blessings that, man, you know what I'm saying? Because me have said that, you know, we all look like 15. Well, me is only 16, but me just said.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
You know what the Lord just told me, Imani?
What's that?
He just shared with me that when he created you, he forgot to put in the aging gene.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like that.
Yes, we all have a touch of that. Yes.
Listen, we have quite a few people making some very nice comments. I want to come to, in particular, I want to come to Sean Clark. Sean Clark, unmute if you will, please. Unmute, and please share with us anything you would like to say about Imani, if you would. That's Sean Clark. Sean Clark.
That's my people.
All right. All right. Maybe he can't hear me or whatever. All right. Well, he's in the building. He said, says you have magical super hybrid. All right. Product of nature and determination and a passion for musicality. Outstanding yet so humble.
Oh, big old Sean Clark. That's my people. Yeah, man.
Yes, that's beautiful. So beautiful.
Do we have
so much, John.
Do we have anybody else who would like to say something to Empress Imani at this stage? Unmute if you would, and tell us who you are, where you're calling from, and just maybe pose your question. If anybody would like to say anything.
Hello.
Sharon Mango. Sharon Bentley, sorry.
Sharon B.
Hi, Imani.
Sharon.
Hi. I want to know how was it for you to open up for Shabarangs and Max Priest? How was it? What from an experience you gather, and what was it like? Because these are artists that up there.
Legends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that question. That was one of the most, it was such a pivotal moment for me. Mm-hmm. I had a box that I had started at the beginning of that year, and I wrote down things that I wanted to achieve and manifest. Wow. One of those things was to open for some big Jamaican artists, and also to do it at Wembley Arena. And no word of a lie, it was at the end of the year when I opened the box and took everything out and ticked off what I'd achieved. And I forgot that I actually wrote that down. And the universe manifested that for me. And to see my name against,
amongst these artists, yeah, I can imagine. To see your name amongst these artists,
I've still got the flyer from my dressing room, the set list. I've still got the little clip where I can see the lineup with my name next to, these amazing artists. So that was fantastic. And the Wembley SSE Arena, you know, Whitney Houston performed there, Adele performed there, but for me it was Whitney Houston. And I remember doing my sound check and walking out into the arena when it was quiet. Obviously, you know, the arena's not full yet, and I'm just doing my sound check with the musicians, and just that feeling of understanding whose feet had walked on this stage. So that beats probably everything that I've done until this point. And again, my dressing room was number 9 then as well.
Imagine.
And
wow,
it was just a fantastic show. Shabba Ranks in the lounge and Mr. Vegas walking past, and you know,
not the stinking Shabba.
Honestly,
and Barrington Levy, everybody.
Barrington Levy, it was just amazing, and I was the only female UK act opening that show. Little me, 5'6".
Oh my gosh.
That must be a real good experience.
Yeah,
I can imagine how you felt.
It was phenomenal. You know, we stayed in the Dorchester Hotel. I remember riding in the Mercedes van, you know, like the posh van with the, and you pull out the trays and the fruits are there, and asking them, what do you want to drink? And they're bringing the drinks to the room, shower in my room. Like, it was just amazing from start to finish. So big up the promoter on that as well, because yeah, his name's Raz. He knows who he is, and he did an amazing job putting on that show and organizing it, and really was a professional from the beginning to the end. So yeah, that was a phenomenal experience for me.
Wow.
Another question with Jab Books. You toured with him also.
I did, yeah. It was a joint tour with Jab Books and Luciano.
How was that?
Again, that was absolutely amazing. Luciano used to always talk about my outfits. And to be on a show with him and Jabooks, again, that was fantastic. It was such an amazing experience, and like moving from city to city. I remember Luciano having this sort of like roots drink that you drink that's fire burning hot to kind of clear up the vocals, and us laughing about that, falling asleep in the van and seeing who can get the videos with who gets caught sleeping in the van, and and again, like
some great experience.
You know, nothing. Yeah, those memories will stay with me forever. And we did the Clapham Grand. You know, we did some amazing venues. And yeah, again, that was just fantastic for me. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say I've listened to your music. I watched the videos. I find them fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much.
So nice. The as General said, the lyrical content is super. Your performance is super. There's nothing that anyone can complain about, really. I would just like to say, keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're on the right track, and the only thing can happen is more blessing and more good.
Oh, bless you, sis. Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care of yourself and take care of that little girl or your dog.
Oh, she takes care of me, most definitely.
I bet you any money she gets into music. I bet you any money I can see.
Oh, well,
she's already talking about it.
It strikes me as a local singer, you know? Yeah.
With her guardian.
She's
a must.
Oh, yeah. It's a must. Thank you, Sharon, birthday girl. Thank you.
Yeah, big up the birthday girl. Enjoy the rest of your day, Sharon.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you all. Thanks.
That was Sharon Bentley with a question. We just want to say if there's any more people who may want to say something, now is the time before we call it a day. Anybody else would like to say anything? We're giving you time. Maybe you've run out to go get a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever is the dynamic. And it's, oh Lord God, I didn't have enough time. We are getting time. They hit the unmute button. All right. Empress Imani.
Yep.
If I could equate you to my favorite food, it would be ackee and saltfish with some scallion and ooh, Jesus. All that great food, right? And then it's presented to me on a plate, and I'm like, you know the eye rolling experience?
Yes.
You know about that, all right. That will be my eye rolling experience.
Right.
Right?
I see.
We wish you everything great that is great that the Lord has for you. You're not here by mistake. Whatever your past was is your past. It doesn't dictate what happens in your future. Your future depends upon this.
Yeah.
Wherever this is at is where it's going to take you. And I know you're on a forward motion mission.
Forward motion.
There's people who are inspired by you. I'm inspired by your music, which is why I chose to have you on this show. You know, and I'm very, very fussy about what I listen to. As a matter of fact, quite recently I went on a deleting spree.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You know?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because of where I'm at mentally, you know?
Yeah.
And
Clearly.
what I love about you is where you are at mentally. Your past or whatever happened to you in the past where whatever and whatever does not dictate where you're going to end up in the future.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, your future is great. And wow, you brought in another generation that is going to bring you to even greater greatness.
Yeah, man.
Your daughter is going to be greater than you ever phantoms you would ever be.
Yeah, I co-sign that, honestly. Yeah, she is
10 stars said.
beaming light on her own.
All I want to hear is 10 stars said, my daughter going to be great.
Yeah, man, the next generation. We got to lead the way for them.
Yeah, we really mean what we say. Is there anything you would like to say to anyone? Tell people how they can get in contact with you.
Okay, so for bookings, any sort of bookings, you can contact Teresa Emmanuel. You can find her on the socials. You contact her and she will be able to handle any sort of booking inquiries. On my socials, you can get me on Instagram at Empress Imani 18. And then on Facebook and everywhere else, it's Empress Imani. And you'll be able to find me there. My music is available on sort of all music platforms. So the iTunes, the Google Play, and Spotify. So yeah, support the movement.
Thank you so much, Empress Imani. We wish you all the greatness that life has to offer.
Thank you.
For one, I feel great that you have now told your story in the way that you want it told.
Yeah.
And, you know, that it will be going out on YouTube. And I will be premiering this show for Monday.
Okay.
So on Monday, and then, you know, we'll be pushing it as much as we can. I definitely want more and more people to understand who you are, what you're about, and what you have to offer. You know,
thank you
and
so much.
I think is greatness for you. So God bless you. Thank you for coming on the show, and thanks, Teresa Emmanuel, for us.
I will do. Thank you so much for having me on this platform. Thank you for blessing me up so nicely today, and thank you so much for all your support and positive energy and love, guys.
We are so in love with you, that girl. I can't tell you what I come. I'm so excited.
So am I, honestly. So am I. I can feel great things ahead, and obviously I got some things in the pipeline. So yeah.
Yes, we're looking forward to that. Yes,
yes,
we
I'll
definitely
keep you
will
guys. Yeah, I'll keep you guys in the loop. So yeah,
please
thank
do.
you again.
If you do, yeah, please do, because if you don't, we're gonna find you. We're gonna be digging up like, girl, yeah, all right. What's going on?
Anyway.
All right.
Sharon,
Yeah.
go find her. Go find her.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah, that's real talk right there. Once you come on our show, we
That's
continuously follow up. That's it.
Right.
Your family.
Noted.
We're family.
Noted. Right. Okay.
Know that.
You'll get all the updates. Don't worry.
Can't wait. So excited. God bless you. 10 Star, you have to drop her next tune because
Yes, I will. I definitely will.
Drop her next tune.
Boy, let me tell you something. Tomorrow we are going to be back here, same time, same place, with the legendary, iconic Heptones. I've been pushing for this to happen, and Lord God, it gonna happen.
So excited.
Heptones! They're gonna be here tomorrow, so just be here. We're gonna be keeping up with Imani because, like I say, I love her like my favorite food.
Yeah, me too. We love her. We just genuinely love and respect this amazing being, this amazing entity. We love you, child. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
If we didn't know before, we're not afraid for talk.
That's right. That's right.
That's
Anyway,
right. We're gonna get out of here with this particular song, and it's called Highest Grade.
Boy, Nana, it's right songs again. Na 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 na. All we need is the highest grade. Yeah, is the living of the nation.
Gives me a spiritual feeling, a herb with a natural healing. The doctors them are now revealing to the masses them start believing. In the gifts and feeling, cancer cells in the blood now is bleeding. In the spirit is loud and is screaming.
Sing out your man.
Brings wisdom and truth. Real goodness to see it starts from the root. From every seed there's a natural fruit. And the earth every day we produce. No, we don't want no drama. Profit and pass it around like karma. Page straight from the farmer planter. The best grade of marijuana. Hey.
All I need is the ice cream. And you know, she say me irate. We never go on no trip trick. The herb and a steam straight cause I the Chinese skin. All I need is the ice cream. And you know, she say me irate. We never go on no trip trick. The herb and a steam straight cause I the Chinese skin.
Well, that's all, folks. That's my line.
Never mind, babe. Let a star do this. That's all. That's all, folks.
Can I go home now?
I'm 10 Star General from Starcade Promotions, and I'm out of here.